Imagine waking up in a world where the impossible has already happened, where there's no sign of trial, error, or slow learning. Just complete cities. Planned, functional, walls, temples, irrigation canals, writing, math, laws, all there, as if someone skipped entire chapters of human history or downloaded forbidden knowledge. This is the chilling vibe left by the first evidence of Sumerian civilization. A culture that erupts over 5,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates, in modern-day Iraq. Without warning, not as a failed experiment, not as a forgotten draft, but as a fully formed empire, ready to conquer. And this is the question that will haunt us today. How the hell was this possible, while the rest of humanity was still scraping by in primitive farming villages, hunting and gathering to survive? The Sumerians were thriving in complex metropolises, like Ur Uruk, Eridu, and Lagash. These hubs weren't slapdash shacks. They were dense, organized, buzzing with life. Tens of thousands of people navigated planned streets like a chessboard, chaotic markets full of deals, and monumental temples piercing the sky. The ziggurats, these stepped pyramids dedicated to forgotten gods, rose like artificial mountains, visible for miles, screaming a sinister link between heaven and earth. But what really keeps archaeologists awake at night isn't the size of these cities. It's when they appear. And if I told you there's no trace of how they were born. When the earliest records emerge, the cities are already there, fully operational. No consistent traces of precursor villages. Those crude settlements that evolve slowly. No clear phases of architectural trial and error. Like, let's try a wall here and see. No visible early stage. It has 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye. In sites like Eridu, the oldest layers already show structured temples from day one, as if the entire blueprint was downloaded from somewhere. This shatters the traditional model of human development, which swears by slow, gradual, cumulative growth. Here, nothing. Avoid. And you, watching this, what does that make you think? A secret migration? Or something more? Extraterrestrial? Drop it in the comments. Inside these ghost cities, life was already governed by records, rules, and institutions that would envy modern empires. Around 3200 BC, the Sumerians invent cuneiform writing, but it's no childish scribble on clay. It's a beast mode system. Hundreds of symbols, sharp grammar rules, uses for trade, religion, contracts, and even epic literature. This screams something disturbing. A long prior development period, hidden in history's shadows that vanished without a trace. Imagine, they didn't learn to write. They already knew. At the same time, an avalanche of breakthroughs that shaped all of human history. The wheel, revolutionizing transport and farming, from carts to mills. The plow, exploding food production to feed empires. And sexagesimal math, based on 60. The same system we use today for hours, minutes, seconds, and 360-degree angles. These innovations don't pop up isolated, like happy accidents. They arrive as a full, coherent kit, as if someone already knew exactly what they were doing and why. How could a people emerge already mastering writing, math, engineering, religion, and administration, without leaving a single clear record of their own formation? The feeling is inescapable. The Sumerians step into history already aware of their role, like actors on a preset stage. And what if they weren't the first? When the Sumerians themselves spoke of their origins, the mystery deepened into an abyss. They didn't see themselves as natives of Mesopotamia's fertile soil. They called themselves the Black-Headed People, a distinct group from an ancestral land never identified, a place lost to time. This isn't drunken folklore. It appears in administrative docs, religious hymns, and formal inscriptions, not as vague myth, but as collective memory etched in clay. The Sumerian language reinforces this cosmic isolation. It's a linguistic isolate, doesn't fit the Semitic trunk, nor Indo-European. No known cousins, uncles, or grandparents. It's a complete, sophisticated tongue with its own grammar and vast vocabulary covering God's two debts, For linguists, this screams a long development in some historical black hole, still unknown. And what if it came from across the sea? Or beyond? The Sumerians had formal schools, called edebus, where young scribes were drilled like machines. They chewed through writing, calculations, accounting, and astronomy, mapping skies we still reference today. This hexagesimal system allowed complex calcs that bent time. Precise, eternal. Again, what shocks isn't the invention. It's everything emerging already running like an ancient Swiss watch. Bone and DNA studies hint at physical differences between Sumerians and later Semites. Perhaps origins in eastern mountains, modern Iran, or swallowed sea roots. Nothing conclusive. But all clues whisper. A pre-Mesopotamian past, a forgotten exodus. And what if it was deliberate? Here, history and myth fuse into a nightmare. The Sumerian King List details rulers reigning for tens of thousands of years before the Great Flood. Impossible spans. According to them, kingship descended from the heavens. Power wasn't invented by sweaty mortals. It was granted post-flood. Human kings take over, still with unnaturally long lives. For Sumerians, myth and history were one, a seamless collective memory. The Inanna weren't distant deities, untouchable. They lived in temples, joined councils, ate, drank, married, like cosmic mob bosses. Each city had a protector god in an intricate hierarchy. For Sumerians, divine and human danced together, no barriers. In the Epic of Atrahasis, lesser gods rebel against slave labor. The macabre solution: create a new creature to toil in their place. Humans are born from clay, mixed with a sacrificed god's blood, not as Earth's rulers, but as eternal workers. This tale echoes loudly in biblical traditions, like Genesis. Coincidence? Or copy?